professional review brothers.
Go to Hershey Park!
This is a theme park actually made by the guy who made Hershey's chocolate, Milton Hershey.
Milton Hershey was such a nice little chocolate person. Didn't you say that he created this theme park for the chocolate factory employees?
Yeah, in the year 1906, that's when Hershey Park got made by Milton Hershey, and it was for the employees of the chocolate factory and the residents of Hershey, Pennsylvania. In the beginning, it was a spot for picnics. You could go canoeing. There was a stage for shows. In the year 1908, the very first amusement ride came to Hershey Park. It was a carousel. Each year, it just kept getting grander and grander. A tennis court, a scenic railroad, more stages to watch hot dog eating contests. Just joking. I think they were meant for like theater productions or something. And then in the year 1923, Hershey Park got its first coaster.
Yay.
The Wildcat.
Wildcats, put your hands up. Fast forward a couple more decades, and by 1945, there were more than 24 amusements and fun devices. I guess that's what they used to call rides.
Then in the year 1971, that's when everything changed. There was a big plan to redevelop Hershey Park, done by the Illuminati. I made up the whole Illuminati thing, but there was a big plan to turn Hershey Park into one of America's best amusement parks. One of the very first things they did was turn Hershey Space Park into Hershey Park.
There used to be a space.
Yeah, it used to be 2 words, then they turned it into 1 word.
Maybe honestly that is a weird psychological thing where that's all they had to do. And that's what kind of brought it into this new stratosphere. Something about that space was holding them back. It doesn't even need to be said, but their plan of world domination worked.
Congratulations!
The Hershey fun starts in Hershey's Chocolate Town, where fun meets chocolate.
Hershey's Kisses, Reese's, classic Hershey's bar, Twizzler, Jolly Rancher. Hershey's now owns a bunch of other candy companies. It isn't just chocolate anymore.
Ooh, a Kissmobile. I don't know what's going on in there, but I saw a lot of parents going in there and telling their kids to leave.
Okay, we're at Hershey Park, but why is the logo like that? Why does the logo look like that?
Honestly, when I saw that this was the logo, I was like, okay, this is the first strike. They might have done a lot right, but who designed this logo? This is some AI type shit. I know this was the logo back in the 70s or something, but like, why is this a logo? Shouldn't it just be a chocolate bar?
I did find out that they used to have a giant Ferris wheel type ride that resembled this logo. I would have thought this logo debuted in 2018. But the 1970s, and people always say brands are getting more minimalistic. This branding is so minimalistic, and it's from the 70s.
I know somebody's watching this right now and they have this logo tattooed on their arm. I'm not saying your tattoo's ugly. I just want to make that one person feel good because I could sense that they were watching.
When you walk through those gates of Hershey Park and you show them your ticket, and then they look through your bag for weapons to make sure you don't beat up people or try to hurt others. Right after all of that, you enter chocolate paradise. Alert. This is not me over-exaggerating. I actually felt like I was in a chocolate world.
Jacob and I have been to plenty of theme parks recently, and it was refreshing to walk into one and it wasn't following the exact mold that all these other theme parks follow. Usually there's this like circle plant thing and like there's a main street that sort of looks like Disney World, but this is its own flair. And I love how right when you walk in, you see probably the coolest roller coaster there, this chocolate covered track roller coaster. Like usually the roller coasters are in the back of the park, you know, but like you walk in, bam, chocolate coaster.
I was definitely falling for the illusion that this was a little chocolate village. All you need to survive in life is chocolate. Chocolate is God. Chocolate is your family.
Chocolate! Candymonium!
It's the tallest, fastest, fastest, longest, and sweetest coaster at HERSHEYPARK. It opened in 2020. That's what people always say about me. I'm the tallest, I'm the fastest, I'm the longest, and I'm the sweetest person you'll ever meet.
Yes. When you look at Candymonium, it looks so smooth. Looks like a smooth piece of chocolate being shoved into your throat.
I gotta say, that first drop on Candymonium was the sweetest drop I've ever experienced. It had so many drops, so many curves, all of them kept getting sweeter. I was like, ugh, I'm getting a sugar rush, I'm gonna get a cavity. I might need to floss and brush after this. I would be lying if I said I didn't agree with the tagline. I think it is the world's sweetest coaster.
Did you hear about the rumor online? They say after you go on Candymonium, underneath your fingernails will be brown.
No, I didn't notice that, but I went to the doctor a few days after this, and now I have high blood sugar, and I'm on the track to getting diabetes.
I didn't even go on the roller coaster, and I just got a rectal exam from my dermatologist, and they found chocolate up there. I'm not kidding. I don't know how it happened, but it's worth it.
Let it be, let it be, let it be, now let it be. Right after I went on that coaster, we were walking through the park, and I heard someone say, I deadass high-key might get a Reese's Big Cup. I had the biggest smile on my face because I just hope to God that they actually did deadass high-key get the Reese's Big Cup.
They better have.
We went to HERSHEYPARK in September, so they were getting in the Halloween spirit.
So obviously they had these two demon Reese's people. That thing on the right is a Reese's then, right? Just in like a Dracula costume or something? The girl on the left is just a baddie.
She just makes me feel comfortable and loved. Obviously, we had to get a photo with all of the scary Hershey characters. There's a scary kiss, a scary Kit Kat, and then I wasn't aware of what that was, but I guess Hershey's owns icebreakers, so that's a scary icebreaker.
Only children were taking photos with them, but then once we went in line, other adults started taking photos with them. We started the trend, and then basically no children could take photos for the rest of the day because it was just adults. It was just childless adults in line.
After seeing this, I don't know if I want to eat Kit Kats anymore because they kind of scare me.
I am surprised they showed us them in that light because yeah, now I'll always have a scary association. I'm spooked.
There's a few themed areas inside of HERSHEYPARK. This is called Founder's Way because I think it's kind of the Milton Hershey area. While you're at HERSHEYPARK, you have to worship Milton.
Is that life size though? Because he was a little shorty.
Shoddy like a melody. That's what I picture when I think of him.
Yeah, he's a shoddy.
Lunchtime at HERSHEYPARK. There was this Philly cheesesteak place. HERSHEYPARK is like 2 hours from Philadelphia. This is technically gonna be a authentic Philly cheesesteak, I think. When I ordered it, they asked me, do you want cheese or whiz? I didn't know what they meant, but I'm gonna assume whiz is like cheese whiz and then cheese is like actual cheese. I got whiz. Hey! It's a big Philly. It was dripping. It was stupid. It was so tasty. I'm a fan. The only con was this annoying ass bee kept going by me trying to get in my business. And it's like, okay, I obviously get bees are part of nature and like technically I'm an animal too. I don't know. It's just annoying that the bee was trying to steal everything. And it's like, if you want something, get a job.
I went to the little eatery across the way. It was a Cuban sandwich joint. And I got myself a Cuban sandwich. It was pressed in aluminum foil. She handed it to me and it was burning hot. Like this was fresh off the panini press. Roast pork, ham, cheese, pickles, some mustard, all on what they call Cuban bread. Smaller than I wanted. Like I was hoping for something bigger. Like they almost pressed it too much where it just became nothing, you know? It became a little pancake, but it was definitely tasty.
While we were eating, China and McLean's hit was blasting. Calling out the monsters! The monsters! Calling out the monsters! Now we're all fueled up for me to go on rides and for Lucas to watch me go on rides.
And luckily we're at HERSHEYPARK. I'm gonna be eating some chocolate while I watch him on the rides. But I'll be honest with you guys. I've been recently reading this book, Why a Lot of Roller Coasters Are Demonic. That's the title. Had a feeling that a lot of these roller coasters might be demonic, and I'm protecting my soul. I don't care what anyone does with theirs. That's why I was letting Jacob live his life. But I'm protecting my soul.
Storm Runner. This isn't chocolate themed. It makes makes sense. I guess everything at HERSHEYPARK isn't gonna be Hershey chocolate themed.
I kind of think it should be, personally.
This was in Pioneer Frontier, which is the classic Old West part of a theme park. I did not know what I was getting into.
You couldn't really see the whole roller coaster from the start. Like, it just went into a forest, kind of. So you really were going in blind.
It was one of those coasters where you stop and then it blasts you up this giant hill. There was a bunch of twists, a bunch of turns. It was definitely a freaky deaky ride. I actually thought it was going to be a little kid ride because this is the type of amusement park where everything is squished together. There's roller coasters on roller coasters on roller coasters that are on top of each other, intertwined, tied together. It was a little bit annoying because I literally just ate this big Philly cheesesteak, so it was kind of going around my stomach, jumbling. It still was really exciting and fun.
As the observer, I didn't really get to observe you going on all those crazy twists because you just shot into a forest and then I didn't see you. I didn't get the thrill of watching, you know?
But you did get the thrill of eating an entire king-size chocolate bar, you fat ass.
Don't out me!
Next up is Trailblazer. This is the second oldest coaster at HERSHEYPARK. Lucas so badly wanted to go on this because he kept saying, yeah, a lot of people say I'm a trailblazer, so I probably should go on this for the iconicness of that, but you still didn't go on it.
I just did the techniques I learned in my book, and this one came off as demonic as well, so I skipped this one too.
This was the total opposite of Storm Runner. The whole ride was filled with kids and their parents. There was even one part of the ride where I heard a toddler crying. This is one of those coasters where like you bring your kids on it and it's like just thrilling enough for them to enjoy it, but it's nothing too crazy. There's like a little hill in the beginning. Yeah, it's a very mediocre ride. I just went on it because once again, I didn't even know what the ride was because everything in HERSHEYPARK is so intertwined, which I actually love, by the way.
I know, and a lot of coasters went right over the walking path, which that was kind of fun. That doesn't usually happen at theme parks. Got milk? Milk gives you calcium, makes your bones strong, and it'll make you a big, strong woman, like you're meant to be.
Drink milk. Milk time. I got chocolate milk, so I was kind of living my Hershey fantasy.
I just got white.
Milk boys!
Milk, milk, milk.
We then entered Kissing Tower Hill, which has a bunch of Hershey rides, like this Hershey's Kissing Tower. I don't know if it's actually for couples to just make out in, but just looking at it, I started drooling.
No, just looking at this was so cool. Everything about it, A+.
Also, Hershey's Triple Tower, which is 3 different drop towers. Hershey's is the tallest, then Reese's, then Kisses. Wait. I just randomly thought about how some people say Reese's.
It's like, girl.
There's even a zoo. We were so excited to see tigers covered in chocolate, beavers eating chocolate, fish swimming in chocolate.
I was ready to do some Insta stories in there.
We were quickly let down because we realized it's Zoo America and it's actually just a regular zoo.
Like, if you're gonna have a zoo at HERSHEYPARK, there should be animal abuse involving chocolate.
I agree. If you're gonna have a zoo at a Hershey-themed amusement park, you need to cover all the animals in chocolate.
So we obviously boycotted that. We're not going to the zoo.
No.
No!
Great Bear is the next coaster. It's named after the constellation Ursa Major, which resembles a bear.
Ooh, creative.
This is a inverted roller coaster, which came out in 1998. Nowadays, these roller coasters are so common. Back then, I'm assuming they weren't as common. It starts going up a hill, and then boom, the thrills start with twists, turns, upside down loops. What made this coaster so exquisite wasn't the actual ride experience. It was just the scenery around you while the ride was going. You went over a pond, and you also looped through other coasters, which was very fantastic. Even though I've been on rides like this several times, I think this is one of the best inverted roller coasters. The scenery, once again. Everything that you see while you experience the ride is frankly awesome.
Oh, I'm jealous. But it's demonic. We saw there was going to be a Hershey show at the Aqua Theater. Finally, we get to watch some animals get covered in chocolate. Right when we walked in, we saw it wasn't a chocolate pool, it's just a regular pool. And this seal came out named Scooter and did some tricks, which it was fun to watch. They brushed its teeth. We kind of started to change our tunes. Maybe it isn't right to cover animals in chocolate. It wouldn't be nice to do, and I'm glad they don't do that.
That is true. It's wrong to cover animals in chocolate.
We've changed.
Why does that look like a human in a costume? It's a little bit creepy. But as the show continued, I was like, oh, they're so cute.
They're so cute, but I have a memory of staying at a hotel in San Diego, and they're so annoying in the morning. I could not get any sleep because they're just going, or.
I gotta say that I'm more of a fan of the sea lion. The way that it moved.
They said that each trainer develops such an intense bond with the otters, and that's how, not the otters, seals, and that's how they teach them all these tricks. Those seals and the trainers, they're actually friends. Began and ended. It was like a 15-minute show, which is the perfect length. So I thought I was gonna sit out on all the rides at Hershey Park, but then I spotted a few rides that I remembered the book said were okay. These can be dangerous, but I had to do some chants in my mind while going on them, and they wouldn't take my soul. These ones aren't as strong. I'm gonna go on this pirate ship.
This was definitely a ticklish ride.
I do love these pirate ships. Like, if you could get one ride in your backyard, would this maybe be it? Because you know what, also wouldn't take that much maintenance.
Can you picture having a pirate ship in your backyard?
We then walked past Frontier Flyers. This specific ride, the book said, is completely safe. You don't even have to do chants while you're on it. So I was like, okay, let me go on this.
This one looked exciting to me, but I noticed that when adults did go on it, they usually went by themselves. But we got sat in the same carriage or whatever. So I immediately was scared because I was like, do they know there's a weight limit for some of these carriages? Like, what if we weigh too much and it ends up falling from the attachment and then we die? But Jesus, take the wheel, and I was like, hopefully we'll be fine and it won't detach.
We were putting it through the ringer because you could kind of guide your little boat thing or whatever we were on. And we were swinging up, swinging down, like we were trying to make the bolts go loose.
There was 6-year-olds, there was 12-year-olds, but we were having the most fun. We just know how to turn anything into a party.
Hey!
You didn't get possessed, right?
No, so far so good.
Then we decided to go to the Hollow themed part of the park. This was originally named Comet Hollow, and it's one of the oldest themed areas of Hershey Park.
Even though this is one of the oldest areas, they do have a ride that just came out this year, Twizzler's Twisted Gravity. And this ride was so fun to look at. Gigantic swings, are you kidding me? And I even saw another woman watching the ride, and she was smiling. She looked like she had like a ticklish feelings in her stomach, like she was moving around. Like, you literally don't have to go on the ride. You just watch other people go on them, and you basically went on it.
You got me feeling emotions. People do have theories that Mariah Carey wrote that song after going to Hershey Park and watching others go on rides.
And that song is such a classic. Thank you, Hershey Park.
Skyrush. This ride became infamous with me and Lucas.
Yeah, the Hershey Park subreddit kept popping up in my feed. It popped up multiple times for me, showing this ride stuck. And then people would just say, like, what's going on, y'all? And then everyone would comment, yeah, it literally gets stuck multiple times a day. It always happens. It gets stuck for 20 minutes. They said it was usually because somebody tries to take their phone out, so they have to stop the ride, because otherwise, like, if their phone smacks someone else in the face and gives them a bloody nose, like, that'd be really bad. In like a sadistic way, I was kind of excited for Jacob to go on this to see if he would get stuck. That was some good chocolate. Is my stomach gonna start hurting soon?
So I built up the courage to go on this ride. I was sitting on the very edge. It's one of those rides where you can actually sit in a seat where it feels like you're about to fall off. Like, definitely felt like it could be deathly, but like maybe it just is my anxiety talking.
So what was it like going up the hill?
It was all good. It was this thick track, and after that hill, it was just a big adrenaline adrenaline rush. So many curves, and we don't even have a video of it because this entire ride is like hidden. It's all over a pond. This ride just felt so insane. I don't know if it's the speed or if there was just way more drops than usual. One of the like out there, over the top, crazy roller coasters I've been on. I don't know what they did with this ride, but somehow they did something where when it was ending, I was like, okay, I'm actually thankful that it ended. It's ending because for that minute, it was like kind of the book you were reading. Like, is my soul gonna be taken out of my body? Like, I hope not.
That's what I've been telling you. It was a rush, if you will. Skyrush, a rush choice of on. Then at the end, you just were stuck at this thing for like 5 minutes, but you weren't actually stuck. It just, that happened to every ride.
Yay, I didn't get stuck on it. Scooper duper looper! This roller coaster is from the year 1977, so it is pretty old. I am in love with the name.
Is that a candy they invested in back then?
I was thinking that too, but from what I found, this has nothing really to do with candy, but Scooper Duper Looper sounds like a candy bar to me.
Chocolate goodness.
I could definitely tell this ride was old. It was making more noise than the newer ones. It just felt a little bit jankety, but I gotta admit, I kind of like when things are jankety because it just gives you that extra thrill of, hey, is it so old that it's finally gonna break? Let's see. Oh my gosh. This was a pretty slow ride. When I saw there was a loop on this coaster, I was like, it feels like it's going too slow to make it over that loop. But somehow we made it over. Just had the old-fashioned lap bar. There wasn't a buckle, it was just a lap bar. And I don't know if I've ever been on a roller coaster that went upside down and there's just a lap bar holding you in. I'm just confused how that is even safe. I did think this ride was fun because it just felt like I was going back in time or something. And I gotta give it to HERSHEYPARK for being original. I feel like every ride we've been on is very original, unique. Alien Superstar roller coaster. Now we're getting to another candy ride. Jolly Rancher Remix.
Remix!
If you wanna get with me, there's some things you gotta remix. I can't believe what we did last night. Remix. Bitch better have my money. This ride may look super new, but no, it's actually not. It's from 1991. We need to find out who the plastic surgeon is because it looks like it's brand new. It got filler, it got Botox, it got a facelift.
And it's all undetectable.
Originally, when this ride came out in 1991, it was just the boring boomerang roller coaster. Oh my gosh, we've all seen that. Then in 2022, they rethemed it as Jolly Rancher, and now it's a bright green.
I also saw they added some lighting. There's a whole light show going on in the little cabin thing.
It's definitely like a club. There's lights, there's music. There's these huge Jolly Ranchers dangling from the ceiling. I wasn't expecting much because I've been on a boomerang coaster before, but this honestly was the best boomerang coaster I've ever been on. I didn't eat a Jolly Rancher. There was no Jolly Ranchers in my mouth, but I swear to God that I tasted a grape Jolly Rancher while I was on this coaster. There's this part where you enter this enclosed area and there's a bunch of lights. This just proves that branding is everything. It wasn't just a roller coaster. It was a whole Jolly Rancher experience.
I know when you walked out of this, you seemed different. I couldn't put my finger on it, but something had changed.
I think your book might be right. I haven't felt the same, and I don't know if something's missing or what.
I tried to warn you. Showtime at the Music Box Theater. There's actually a monster ball going on multiple times today, so we had to catch one of the showtimes.
Basically, the whole goal of the show was to crown one of the candies Monster of the Year. And I think the Hershey Bar was the host, and the Twizzler, Jolly Rancher, and Reese's were competing for the prize.
All of the songs were songs everybody knew, and also they wouldn't ever do a whole song. It always was more of a remix moment. A minute of a song, then remix, go into another one, and people were into it.
Twizzlers won! I actually thought the Reese's deserved to win, but that's okay. okay. I don't think the Twizzlers deserved it, but nepotism maybe. I don't know.
Took a while for you to just come back to homeostasis and let it go. The winner of the Monster Ball, it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. And finally, I got through to you.
Fahrenheit 97 degrees and falling fast. This is a bright orange roller coaster that opened in 2008, and when it opened for a few months, it was the world's steepest coaster.
Oh my
But then
God.
it quickly got taken away from them. That title did.
Literally goes straight up and straight down.
I've seen roller coasters like this, so I was thinking, will it be similar to those? But no, this one blew those away. Those ones are in the dust. Look at those loops. Whoa, whoa. That's like a double loop happening. I guess that's called a Norwegian loop.
Damn. I gotta say, it was crazy watching you on this one, Jacob. But I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit distracted by my chocolate.
It's such a high effort theme park. I can just tell that effort was put into everything. While I was on this roller coaster, I was kind of chit-chatting to the person sitting next to me, and talking to people on roller coasters is actually the best type of conversations. You can just talk about whatever, and even if it's awkward, it doesn't matter because in 2 minutes, you're gonna be out of that seat.
We then walked through the boardwalk, which was the Hershey Park water park. It was shut down because it's not summer.
It is a normal water park. It isn't chocolate water. I was hoping that it would be chocolate water. I mean, it's not even open when we went, but it's during the summertime. It's not chocolate water. It's normal water.
Can't they even just use food dye or something? Make all the water brown in the wave pool?
Now we're entering Midway America, but since it's Halloween, they are calling it Midway of Misery. It seemed like this part was themed as like a radioactive chemical invaded the entire population and now everyone's insane or something.
Yes, everyone was mutated and ready to kill.
There's a roller coaster back here called Wildcat's Revenge, which is paying homage to the first roller coaster at Hershey Park called Wildcat. I was looking at it and I was like, okay, a wooden coaster. I haven't been on one of those today. Let's do it. But it's actually a hybrid coaster.
What?
It's a wooden structure, but the actual track is steel.
The best of both worlds, if you will.
This ride opened in 1996 and it was just a wooden coaster, but then in 2022, they shut it down and then they made the track steel. It's like an old coaster, but then they made it new with some plastic surgery. I haven't ever been on a ride where there's lockers at the bottom that are free to use and you have to use these lockers. They were being strict. They were telling everyone, if there's a phone in your pocket, anything, if we see it, you have to go to the end of the line and start all over because your stuff has to be in a locker.
So are you even allowed to like speak about what happened after you put away your phone, or?
I'm going to because I didn't sign anything. This totally blew me away. No, but actually though, a wooden structure with a steel track is a genius idea because it feels like you're on a wooden roller coaster because it's a little bit like moving back and forth because it's a wood structure. But then since it's a steel coaster, it goes so quick. But I couldn't fully enjoy myself because I had to go pee so bad. So the entire time I kept thinking, will I pee? Will I pee? When you're so sweaty, because I was so sweaty, technically could kind of pee and you wouldn't even notice because you're already so sweaty. So like when the coaster ended, I was like so scared getting up because I was like, is it gonna be a pee spot? But I didn't pee, but
When you almost leave a piss puddle.
I also did notice that when everything was okay on a roller coaster, all the employees would do this, do like that A-OK symbol. And that would be them telling each other like, we all agree that we saw everything. You can't blame me, okay?
Okay, that'd be my vibe if I worked up there. I'd always just be saying, I think it's good, but yeah, if anything happens, it's not my fault. It got to be 5 o'clock and the smoke machine started billowing out fog everywhere. The haunted, scary, spooktacular night at the Midway of Misery was beginning.
We were way too terrified, so we left that area and decided to go to the Chocolatier, which is actually like probably the most famous restaurant at Hershey Park. Being a chocolatier sounds like such a good career choice. So that's another reason why I wanted to eat here, because I was like, maybe I could like switch my career and be a chocolatier instead.
The theme of the restaurant is to celebrate the life and legacy of our founder, Milton S. Hershey, the chocolatier that's responsible for this whole park.
We love you, Milton.
Milton!
The main reason I was super duper excited to dine at this fine establishment is because some of the menu items are chocolate infused.
Like things that you wouldn't expect. Like savory foods have chocolate smeared all over them.
For example, there's a loaded mac and cheese, but it has Hershey's chocolate barbecue in it. What? You have to be joking. But no, I'm not joking. It's real.
Oh, what's going on? We got Diet Pepsi, and I was nervous to try it, but they didn't pour a bunch of chocolate into it.
It was just a normal Pepsi. First of all, we got the margarita flatbread, which has red sauce, tomatoes, fresh mozzarella, basil, and then Hershey's chocolate balsamic glaze.
Okay, that's funky.
It may look like a normal margarita flatbread, but no, that's chocolate balsamic glaze on top.
We were both starving at this point, so we both ate it at the same time, and it was great. Like, I was wondering, I was like, are they literally just gonna put like nasty Hershey chocolate all over this cheese pizza? But it was very subtle. Like, it mostly just tasted like a regular margarita flatbread with like the tiniest hint of chocolate in the balsamic.
It definitely wasn't overpowering. It was a very slight Hershey's chocolate taste. I actually was kind of admiring how there was a little bit of chocolate in each bite because it was the classic sweet and savory thing. This little puny amount of chocolate on a margarita flatbread, to me, elevated it. I would be down to always have a chocolate margarita flatbread like this. Lucas let me have the last slice. Thank you so much.
No prob!
We probably ate this whole pizza in 3 minutes, and then I tried just some of the chocolate glaze by itself, and I was, again, like, whoa, it is balsamic, but then it has a little bit of chocolate. Milton Hershey really did it with this one. I mean, he had no involvement in the creation of this, but I'm just gonna act like he did.
I wonder if he ever ate a pizza with chocolate drizzled on it his whole life.
I would assume because he's literally the chocolate man.
He must have.
He would have had to, right?
Yeah, you would think. We then got the Reese's Take 5 chicken sandwich. We split it down the middle because we both wanted to try everything. Was nervous about this one because for some reason the fact that it was a Reese's Take 5 kind of grossed me out because I swear I've had those before and they grossed me out. Like I just am more of a regular Reese's person. So I was a little bit hesitant. Did love the bun it was on though, like that little swirly pretzel bun. Is that what it was?
Me and Lucas love candy just as much as the next Michael. But I'm not really familiar with Reese's Take 5. Basically, a Reese's Take 5 is chocolate, peanuts, peanut butter, caramel, and pretzel. So that's why it's a pretzel bun.
Oh, okay, it's all adding up.
This is Reese's peanut butter and jalapeno caramel, grilled chicken, Hershey's chocolate drizzled house bacon. There's some lettuce and it's all on a pretzel roll, as we said. I mean, I don't know if they had to make a Reese's Take 5 sandwich. That's a little intense. Those 5 things, like maybe just do a Reese's one.
So I took the first bite and I was like, okay, I think this is fine. Like I'm not tasting such an overwhelming amount of Reese's Take 5. But as I continued to eat it, I gotta say, it was just gross. Like it didn't work. Like my hopes were so high after the margarita pizza because that worked so well. It actually was just like someone made a chicken sandwich and smudged a candy bar in it. It was like, it just gave more of a food challenge vibe.
Same thing happened with me. I took my first bite and I was like, this isn't even bad. Okay, I'm a fan. Milton, keep doing it. But then a few bites in it hit you and you start entering this psychosis. It gets so overwhelming. I wasn't only tasting Reese's Take 5. Reese's Take 5 was going into all of my senses. It was going up my nose. It was going through my ears. It was going through every orifice in my body. I just am going to say, I think this is so gross. How much chocolate peanut butter? Like, what are we doing?
And I kept thinking that I'd tasted this before. And I still don't know when I have or if I have, if it was a past life, if it was a dream. It is just one of the worst tastes. Like it leaves like a lingering taste in your mouth. I feel like this might be more of a joke item. This is when I started to realize, okay, most people who eat here get regular food. These items are more for jokesters.
No, Oh, this is why I'm so confused. If you look at the menu, a lot of it has that C next to it, which means it has chocolate in it. So I don't think this item is a joke. I think it's meant to actually be like tasty and like you desire it. I did eat my whole half, but like this is not alluring to me at all.
I ate my whole half too, so I don't know why I did talk so strongly. Like if I actually believed what I said before, like I wouldn't have finished it. It's now time for the Chocolate Town Burger, featuring thick cut house bacon, smoked cheddar, along with Hershey's chocolate drizzled potato chips. It kind of feels like this is the item on the menu. You know, the Chocolate Town Burger. Ew.
I'm not trying to disgust anyone, but that actually just looks like baby poop on a bun.
Ew.
When I took my first bite, I immediately noticed that the chocolate was subtle. It wasn't overwhelming all my senses, but it still just made me want to vomit because it wasn't dark chocolate. You could tell it was this sweet milk chocolate.
I hated it, but I didn't hate it as much as the Reese's one because I didn't have to visualize a Reese's Take 5 at least for this one, you know? It still just didn't work for me. I did love the burger, and even just Hershey's drizzled potato chips on their own would be amazing. But all of it together, it makes you want to barf.
You are right, though. This was better than the Reese's, but I just couldn't handle it anymore, so I just decided after a while, I'm just gonna eat the patty. I can't be eating all this other chocolate stuff, but I still was left all sad and stuff because even the burger had this little chocolate taste in it.
Also, my fingies. My fingers reeked of chocolate. So, like, I just couldn't escape it because each bite, my fingers were right under my nose, so smelly like chocolate. It kept re-traumatizing me.
Neither of us are joking when we say that we actually believe that we got PTSD from this restaurant because chocolate was disgusting me. We both felt down in the dumps. There was just way too many flavors that touched our taste buds at this restaurant. Even though neither of us wanted anything to do with chocolate, we went back to Chocolate Town, entered the park again. It was spooky.
Let's go to fear.
So beautiful.
Because I've been to like Universal Horror Nights where people jump out at you every second and it actually is scary. And I always have an irrational fear that one of them is actually going to go psychotic and actually kill me.
We decided to hold off on the spookiness for a little bit, try to build up courage. So we went on the Frontier Flyers again. Each of us went on our own carriage this time.
It was just as magical, maybe even more than the first time. Like these birds are so lucky that they get to do this every day.
Magical. And I'm not even joking when I say that this was more exciting than some of the coastals.
Just spin me around in a circle and I'll be happy.
And Brittany Spales has been aware of that for a while. We need to follow her.
Yeah, she's been spinning and she seems very happy.
Well, actually in the scary part now, they were blaring the porch siren. Both of us felt uneasy, and then it goes to what Lucas was talking about earlier. There's this deep delusional fear that maybe one of the actors that is trying to scare everyone is actually a serial killer, and they had pieces of metal, I think, that they rub against the ground, and then it creates a spark, and something about that is always so terrifying.
But I don't know if it's because we're two burly men. None of them approached us. They were going for the girls. There was like a girl in her 20s. She was their little target, but no one targeted us.
There was a kid that was crawling towards us, and they weren't an employee. It was just a random kid, and they just were trying to scare me and Lucas, and we actually did get scared because, you know, in these scary movies, there's always like a possessed kid.
They just wanted to join the employee actors, and yeah, it worked. They got us.
There was kind of this demonic DJ music playing.
A lot of fire, which represents hell. I just realized I didn't go on all those roller coasters because of demonic reasons. I'm in the demonic part of the park.
We noticed that there was some haunted houses, so we were like, let's go on these. We got in line and we noticed, oh wait, this is gonna take an hour to even like go through a haunted house because these lines are so long. I got a fast pass for all the roller coasters earlier in the day, but Lucas didn't have one. So then I was like, I guess guess I'll just go through a haunted house by myself, even though that honestly doesn't sound enjoyable to me. There was a kid screaming right outside the haunted house. That just made me feel bad because, like, why are you bringing your little kid to a haunted house? Then they're just gonna have nightmares for like months about it.
The parents were just dragging them through it, saying, we don't care. You're going through it because we want to see what it's like.
I just hated going through this haunted house by myself.
You're next!
I guess the theme was like serial killer demon hell circus?
That just covers everything. Did you ever have a whole scream moment in there?
Okay, so if I'm being honest, there was a group of 3 people ahead of me, and I purposely kind of stayed right behind them because I didn't want anyone to pop out at me. So I went through this entire haunted house without anyone popping out at me because they'd all pop out for the people in front of me, and then I'd just be right after them, so they wouldn't have enough time to recuperate or whatever. So, no, I'm not going on anymore by myself.
We had enough of the satanic energy of the scary part, so it was time to leave.
We wanted to experience the opposite of that, and we found the opposite of that. Milton's Ice Cream Parlor. Oh, it's so adorable, this pastel green. This is honestly the opposite of the Halloween part of HERSHEYPARK. It felt so wholesome, so happy.
So bright, so innocent.
I didn't know Milton loved ice cream, but I guess he probably did, right?
Oh, he did.
We didn't know what to get. They had ice cream. I think they had some donuts, but we wanted to just go big or go home. You know what they say. So we decided to get the Reese's Cup Fusion.
And just looking at it makes you confused.
What all is that? We actually didn't know what it all was, but it's vanilla, chocolate, and Reese's ice cream, Hershey's chocolate syrup, mini Reese's pieces, mini Reese's cups, chopped Reese's Take 5, whipped cream, and a cherry on top. Of course, I had the cherry. I love cherries.
I feel like I needed this in this moment. Just something cold and sweet. While at HERSHEYPARK, I needed to experience chocolate that wasn't on a burger or a chicken sandwich. I needed to have it how it was meant to be. I'm just so happy Milton whipped this up for us.
When you add this much stuff into a bowl, I don't know. I just knew it was going to be gross. I knew it was going to be too heavy. It was going to be too much. It was going to leave us both delusional.
Weirdly, one of those things where after just a few bites, you kind of are done.
I knew in the back of my mind it's probably going to make me feel like shit, but I was like, I just have to though. In what HERSHEYPARK? Kind of feels surreal that it happened. Because I mentioned this to Lucas a few months back because people left comments on this channel saying we should go. And now we've gone. And thank you for leaving those comments because it was way better than I expected actually. It exceeded my expectations.
It's weird how it's over now. Isn't this what people always say on their wedding nights? Like, oh wait, now it's over? Like all the planning and now it's over, you know? That was us with HERSHEYPARK.
But then again, I guess it's never really over. It was actually a chocolate fantasy. The theming was excellent. The rides were one of one. And the proof that me and Lucas had a blast is that we both got a week-long sickness after this.
It was so good, it wrecked our immune systems.
Love you, Milton Hershey. Mwah.
Mwah.